Hi, welcome to our Reach devotion today. My name is Robert. I'm going to be sharing from 1 Corinthians. If you have a Bible or a Bible app on your phone, please find 1 Corinthians. Then click to the link below this video and listen to the worship song there. Okay, as I said, I'm going to read from 1 Corinthians starting at verse 17. These are the words of Paul the Apostle. For Christ did not send me to baptize, but to preach the gospel, not with words of human wisdom, lest the cross of Christ be emptied of its power. For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, the intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate. Where is the wise man? Where is the scholar? Where is the philosopher of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? For since in the wisdom of God the world through its wisdom did not know him, God was pleased through the foolishness of what was preached to save those who believe. Jews demand miraculous signs and Greeks look for wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. But to those whom God has called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God. For the foolishness of God is wiser than man's wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than man's strength. Brothers, think of what you were when you were called. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were influential. Not many were of noble birth. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. He chose the lowly things of this world and the despised things, and the things that are not, to nullify the things that are, so that no one may boast before him. It is because of him that you are in Christ Jesus, who has become for us wisdom from God. That is our righteousness, holiness, and redemption. Therefore, as it is written, let him who boasts, boast in the Lord. When I came to you, brothers, I did not come with eloquence or superior wisdom, as I proclaimed to you the testimony about God. For I resolved to know nothing while I was with you except Christ and him crucified. I came to you in weakness and fear, and with much trembling. My message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power, so that your faith might not rest on men's wisdom, but on God's power. As I was looking at this verse, I've been studying through Corinthians, reading a part of a verse each day and focusing on it. But I started to focus on this passage, and around that time felt God was speaking to me back in November, and he said to me, it's not time to get with the program, but it's time to get with the power encounter. So as a result, I focused on this word power in this passage. There's an awful lot said in this passage about wisdom, and that's important, and very much says that if we try to speak with words of human wisdom, the message of the cross is emptied of its power. So my first question to you really is, are we speaking with God's wisdom or relying on human wisdom? There's lots of things said there about the reliance on human wisdom, and that is just futile, or in the original Greek it says folly, and it's not worth doing that at all. What we need to do is rely on God's power, because the message of the cross, Paul says, is the power of God, and Christ crucified is the power of God and the wisdom of God. Paul's speech and proclamation was not with wise and persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power, that our faith is not in men's wisdom, but in the power of God. The people in the church I grew up in were mainly farmers who relied on God rather than men's wisdom. Their faith was in the power of God. They trusted God, They trusted him in terms of the weather. They trusted him in terms of provision for their family. They trusted him in everything that they needed. And as they trusted in God's power, they saw many miracles and healings. In fact, the place came to be known as Miracle Valley. Being brought up in a place like that causes me to seek God and expect to see his miraculous power at work in and through my life. And so as a result, lots of times I've seen miracles happen, and I've seen God do amazing things in lots of different ways. And it challenges me to keep looking for that in my faith. And I want to challenge you this morning. Do we put our faith in the message of the cross or in human wisdom? What is it we're putting our faith in? The word power here is dunamis, from which we get the word dynamite. And the question I'm asking really is, are we trusting in the dynamite power of God to crack open the hard situations? Just as dynamite blows open rocks, or are we trying to deal with difficult and impossible situations alone? Put your faith in the power of God today and see what he will do to dramatically change lives and situations around you.